Hi, Adrian at Geek Towers here. I've been playing around with Alexa for some time now, but only have a couple of dots around the house. I wanted to step into multi-room audio and started looking at what options are available. Obviously there are Amazon's own offerings, but they have a particular issue that is a big no for me. Mainly you're pretty much tied into using a music streaming service, and this doesn't include Apple, the service that I would choose if going down that road. Which I'm not, as I prefer to host my own music, generally on something like Plex. Being a vinyl collector, this makes sense due to download codes. There is a skill for Plex, but that doesn't work with the Echo's multi-room. So I stumbled upon the Sonos One. This little but loud speaker appeared to tick a lot of boxes for me, but that's not to say it doesn't have its own issues. To be fair to Sonos, this is more Amazon's fault due to their communication API not being public, but more on that later. The speaker retails at £199 here in the UK, and the same in dollars for the US. Now, this may sound expensive, but when you listen to this little guy, you can clearly hear where the money goes. So what I'd like to do is take you through what I love about this speaker and where there is room for improvement. So here we are inside the Sonos app. We're in the browse function at the moment, and I've set up a few services just to show you some of its functionality. So this is what the iPhone one looks like. I don't know whether the Android one looks the same, I'll be honest. I assume it's either going to be just like this or match the ecosystem of Android. So starting from the top, we've got Music Library. This is Sonos' own way of indexing your music. So you set this up inside the app, and what you do is point it to a network share on your network. I've got a Windows server that has a share on it, so I'm pointing to that. Any NAS drive, USB over Wi-Fi drive, that sort of thing should function just fine. And what it does, it indexes all your music for you. So if you just nip in here, you can see we've got some albums here. And yeah, pulled all the album artists down, all the images and everything, really, really cool. And it's actually very, very quick. The downside is you can't really use it outside of the Sonos application. Next one down is on this iPhone. Now on this iPhone, shows you music that you've synced using iTunes. It doesn't actually show you music that is synced with any other application, which is a bit annoying, but I have, for the purpose of this, synced some music with iTunes. You can see the albums there as they were in the Sonos index. Moving on, we've got radio by tuning, so there's some really cool radio stations in there. Really nice to have because the radio is obviously dying a bit inside the household. Can't really let you listen to any because of royalty issues. Next one is the Plex function. I'll come back to that in a second because I just want to talk to you about the Spotify one. So I use Spotify free to listen to new music that I may or may not like, and then decide whether to purchase that artist. The free version doesn't work here, and it's really annoying because it doesn't tell you that until you try and you search for an album or whatever, and then you try and play. It pauses for a bit and then goes, "No, you're not a premium subscriber." Very, very annoying. I don't know whether it's something they'll change. Really irritating. So moving on to the Plex feature. So exactly the same list as we had before: artists, albums, etc. And as you can see, there's the same albums as before. What's really cool about this is there's another sources function, so you could actually have multiple Plex libraries. So say for instance you've got your husband's library and your wife's library. You could actually flip between those. What I've done for the purpose of this video though, I've got my standard music library and then I've made a royalty free one just so I can actually demonstrate the application working. So we'll just switch to the royalty free library now. And what I've done, I've just downloaded a track from geektowers.com. So if we nip into by album, and we're just going to see one album in here, Ben Sound, and then what we're going to do is press play. So what this is going to do is play in the kitchen device. It's the only device I've actually got on my network, so I've got no groups or anything like that, but in the Rooms tab at the bottom of the application you would be able to say, right now play downstairs, everywhere, etc. So we'll just click the Ben Sound Adventure, give it a second, and there we go. So the Sonos one is now playing, which is great. The Alexa functions do work at this point, so we could ask her to pause. Alexa, pause. There we go, she's paused, which is great. It's a shame about the other features that I'll talk to you later that don't really work. And that's about it really. I don't think there's much else to show you. We've got the rooms there, so as you would imagine there would be many rooms there and groups, so you can group different speakers together. There is a search function which is actually really cool. Like you can see, I've done a search there for 21 Pilots, and it's come up on all the sources where 21 Pilots exist. When you are actually doing a search, so we'll do a Dell for instance, the local one comes back really quick, and then at other times it takes a while for Plex to respond. I assume Plex has responded fast there because I've recently done a search. When I say if I did a search tomorrow, it does take 10 seconds or so for Plex to actually come back with a result, and that's the same with Spotify as well. I assume that's because it's got to go to talk to those services to get the result rather than it being local to the device. Well, this works. I was very disappointed. Alexa, ask Plex to play the album Trench.
Playing the album Trench by 21 Pilots.
Alexa, stop. As you can see, nothing happens at all, and I confirm this does work on an Amazon device. Bit disappointing. Another issue with the Plex skill is asking for an artist. For example, Alexa, ask Plex to play the artist Adele.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find the artist Adele on your Plex server. You can ask to play something else or ask me to suggest something.
Stop. So I know I have Adele in my library, for example, if I try and play the album, although we're still going to run into the issue where the album doesn't play. Alexa, ask Plex to play the album 25.
Playing the album 25 by Adele.
Alexa, stop. As you can see, she clearly knew that the album was by the artist Adele, but couldn't find her when asking for the artist. It's very irritating, and another reason why I like the Sonos app, so I can just browse the library on the phone and play to the particular group that I want to play.
Finally, one thing to note is that this isn't a fully functioning Echo. So far, the only feature I have found to be missing is the ability to drop in, although you can use the announcement feature. Hopefully Amazon will eventually allow third-party speakers to use this feature. So, that's my initial thoughts of the Sonos One, and I can say I'm impressed. I will be buying another for my bedroom, and I'm looking into how I can broadcast my vinyl around the house. Thanks for watching. Any questions, please comment below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.